Hello everyone, it's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. In this video, I want to talk about comma.ai and why I think comma.ai may be the level 2 provider for Aptera. I mean, there's no official word on it, but there's a couple of reasons to believe it. This is comma.ai's website. If you look at this is actually Torrey Pines Boulevard, and this is the exact same road that is being driven by Aptera in this shot right here. So this is Torrey Pines State Park. And the comma AI shot is them driving down here. Here's Aptera driving down here too. But so it's kind of a local company. It was started by this guy named George Hotz, who's only 33 years old. He's very famous as a hacker. He was the first guy to hack an iPhone and remove the SIM lock on an iPhone. It's called jailbreaking. He released a thing called Black Rain, which jailbreaks iPhones and iPod Touches. I actually used this program to unlock my iPhone back in the day, and he was the guy that did it. He also unlocked the PlayStation 3. Sony sued him for it, and then he also had a root exploit on an Android phone. And then he got into doing this comma AI thing, and the NTSA kind of shut him down for a little bit, but then he came back and started comma AI and came back with the comma 2, and now they're up to the comma 3. If you guys have used the comma system, please let us know your experience in the comments below. I've never used it, but I've watched several videos of it online. Here's like a time lapse of it doing a 100-mile highway trip with no one touching the wheel. And this is done in a Corolla. I've heard that the experience is different based on which car you have. And there's a lot of cars that are supported. Basically, the way it works right now is you buy this thing. It's about $2,000. He just did that to change lanes, and then you hook it up to the car through with a cable harness, as I understand it, and then configure it a little bit, and off you go. You're good to go. There are several. It's compatible with over 200 cars. Unfortunately, it's not compatible with any of the cars I have currently, so I haven't been able to use it. But this is kind of the system that I would want on a car. I just want a car that'll drive on the highway with minimal input from me. And I can handle all the city driving. That's fine. Like, I don't need a car to drive in the city for me. I want it to drive on the highway. It would be really nice for it to drive in like stop and go traffic. There's a lot of that in California. And stop and go traffic is basically, it's like it's not a hard thing for a computer to do. You're just going like 20 miles per hour at most and just kind of inching forward the whole time, following the car in front of you. So it's not a very high bar, but there's several car companies all have some kind of level 2 um, driver assistance, and comma 3 actually wins when you compare to them. This is a funny thing I noticed on their website. So if you look at this website, look, this is Chris McCannon. He used to work for comma AI. Now you guys know he works for Aptera. So there's definitely a connection here. This is Torrey Pines Road going the opposite direction. That's the opposite direction from this. That's them driving down this way, and in this shot, Aptera is driving this way. But this is a kind of a scenic road, so I think a lot of companies like to use it in their promo. But yeah, so it does quite well, and actually, Consumer Reports did a review of all the active driver assistance systems back in November of 2020. And if you look at how they rank them, here you go. The number one system was comma 2 by OpenPilot. Got a score of 78. Then next was Cadillac Super Cruise. Next was Tesla Autopilot. Then Ford, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Subaru, Hyundai, BMW, Porsche, Volvo, Toyota, Honda. Okay, so I have a Honda, and I can tell you it's not that great. So I kind of buy this. Tesla Autopilot, I've seen that, fairly impressive. And then you have to think of the way that they rated this. In terms of capability and performance, Tesla was the best. But that was just one part of the thing. And, comma and Cadillac were pretty good. Ford, Audi, also pretty good. but Tesla was the most capable and the performance was the best. But in other areas, Tesla failed. So the other areas that Consumer Reports thought was important was keeping the driver engaged. So Comma 2 and Cadillac both track your eyes to make sure your eyes are like kind of looking forward. Tesla, you just have to put some torque on the wheel and you could just be doing whatever and be totally zoned out. And Tesla Autopilot thinks that you're engaged. So they thought that was a negative. Um, in terms of ease of use, they thought that OpenPilot, comma AI was very easy to use, easier to use than Autopilot. And then it would tell you when it's safe and clear to use. They gave the highest rating to Super Cruise because Super Cruise only works on the highway. Comma AI is a little bit better. Tesla would let you use their autopilot when it was totally not safe to use it. In fact, my brother-in-law has a Model 3 that he used on local roads, and it basically veered off the road, and he scuffed up the side of his car, his brand new car, because the autopilots told him it was, let him use it on this curvy road in the city where it obviously could not make the turn. And then unresponsive driver. So comma AI and Cadillac are very good at dealing with an unresponsive driver, and the other systems are not so good. So this is the metrics by which they scored it, and comma AI did very well across the board, was the best system out of all these, which is kind of funny because this is a system that was basically made by a 20-some-year-old in his garage. And then he started a company afterward on it. And so it just shows you, it's pretty impressive that someone was able to do that almost by themselves and has a far more capable system than these really, really large companies with huge budgets. Mazda, obviously, the worst in this test. But I think for many reasons, there's connections between the company. They're geographically similar. They kind of work in the same area, and I think they have to have talked to each other. And it seems like it's a very capable system. And if you build it, they just need certain cameras and certain systems to be capable of it. And you could just integrate this thing into here if you, instead of making an aftermarket thing, if you just talk to them beforehand. And I think comma AI would be a good driver assistance system for the Aptera. It's known to work. It works well. And they're local. They have many connections together, and it would be fairly easy to implement, I think. So tell me what you guys think. Have you used comma AI? If you have, please let us know in the comments. I'm really interested to know other people's experiences with it. And have you? What are your experiences with the other driver assistance driver assistance systems? Like like I'm sure a lot of you have experience with autopilot. Do you have experience with Super Cruise or Copilot or Audi system or any of these other systems? I heard Hyundai system was actually pretty good, but they got pretty low ratings here. So let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks to our supporting members. Have a great day.